In this video, we're going to be doing the axle holes and a couple other things. On the previous video, you did your side profile of your car. So if you don't have this done, please go back to the other video before you proceed. Alright, I want to give you guys a couple tips before we get going. One is getting rid of these dimensions. Dimensions are good. They're measurements that are called out. It shows, hey, from here down to here, that's 2.749 of an inch, 2 inches, and almost 2 3/4 inches. And it's good if I were to print this out and give it to someone and they were going to design this or create it. But for us, it's just kind of in the way and we don't really need them. So you can go ahead and click on it and just hit delete and go around and delete all of those dimensions that are kind of in your way. Another thing some of you might encounter is seeing these little symbols. These show constraints, and that's just telling you that everything's snapped together and it's not going to move unless you make it move. And to get rid of those constraints, you go to the right to your sketch palette. You might have to hit the little plus and drop it down, and you can turn them off by unchecking it. So here it is, show constraints. Click on that, and now our constraints are gone. So that just cleans up our drawing. It looks good. It's going to make it easier for us to draw stuff. Okay, so to start doing your axle holes, you first need to figure out which wheels you're going to use. So there should be some wheels in the classroom. Go and look in the box or bin or whatever they're in, and pick out, do you want big fat wheels in the back and skinny ones in the front, like a real dragster? Do you want all 4 wheels to be skinny? Do you want all 4 wheels to be the bigger wheels? So you pick out your wheel assortment. Once you have your, so this would be a good time to pause and go do that. Okay, hopefully you have your wheels and you're ready to start drawing them. You should have your wheels and a ruler. So if you need to pause and go get a ruler, do that as well. But you hold the ruler over your wheel you're going to use. So on the back, I decided to use a bigger wheel, like a true dragster wheel. And I'm going to measure the diameter, the outside diameter. So from one end of the wheel to the other. And I'm looking at this wheel, and it looks like it's 1 inch and 1/16 over 1/2. So I know that half is 8/16, so it's 1 inch and 9/16. So I'm going to go up to my sketch tab and get the circle command. I'm going to go to the right of it and do center diameter of a circle. I'm going to click there. I'm going to pick where I want my rear wheel, and you can move it afterwards, but don't snap it to a line because it'll move your line. Snap it somewhere where there isn't a line. And I said, what was it again? Inch and 1/16 over 1/2, which is 1 space. For some reason that's not typing. Let me. Okay, here we go. 1. Oh, my num lock was turned off. There we go. 1 space, and it wasn't 8/16. It was 1 and 9/16. Then I'm going to hit enter. Oh, once I hit enter one more time, 2 enters. And then I can zoom in and look at this. I can click on that little dimension there, that number, and delete it. And I can click on the outside of my wheel or click on the inside, and I can move it where I want it. You just want to place it wherever you want it to end up. Don't put it too close to the bottom edge because you're going to have to drill a hole. And you can't drill a hole in the air. It has to be in the wood. So the higher up you put your wheel, the more of a low rider car you're going to have. And then the farther down you put it, the taller your car is going to be. Now just remember that you're going to have some screw eyes underneath here, so leave a little room down here. Those screw eyes will guide your car along the fishing line. There's my rear wheel. Now I got to do a front wheel. So I'm going to go to the circle command and center diameter circle, and I'm going to measure my front wheel's outside diameter, which is 1 inch and 1/8 under 1/2. So I click here where I want it, and it's 1 inch space 1/8 under 1/2. 1/2 is 4/8, so it must be 3/8. Enter, enter. There we go. Now that I've placed my wheels where I want them, I can draw my axle holes so I know where to drill. So you're going to go up to Sketch, pick the circle command once more, and I'm going to zoom in a little bit on this one. I'm going to find the center of this wheel, and I'm going to click, I'm going to drag it out, and I'm going to put 1/8. That is the diameter of the straw or axle hole that you're going to drill. So 1/8, enter, enter. Okay, come over here, same thing. Going to do circle command. I'm going to zoom in, find the center of this. 1/8, enter, enter. Okay, it looks great. Now I'm going to select my wheels on the outside of them, hit delete, and it's just going to leave my axle hole, and I can get rid of this dimension as well. Okay, zoom in. Oop, make sure you don't click on the actual circle, just get the dimension. There we go. That little random line there, get rid of. Zoom in on that. Alright. Now I need to project my axle holes up to my top view. So I'm going to go over to the line command, and I'm going to zoom in on the first axle I want to do, the axle hole, and I want to find the tangent. That is like the edge of the circle. And you'll hear this term in math, but you hover over the center of the circle and you go straight right, and I'll make a 90-degree right angle over there. So it's horizontal of the center, and snap to that tangent. And it should show the little tangent symbol down there. See a little circle with a line? That's called a tangent when you snap to the edge of a circle like that. I'm going to go up, make sure it's 90 degrees straight up. I'm going to snap to this far side of my top view. I have to zoom in. For some reason it is not wanting to snap. Okay, I think I got it. And since I didn't hit enter, I'm still in the line command, so I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to find the tangent on the left side, and I'm going to snap to that and go straight up. Make sure it's 90 degrees. Alright, and then I won't do the back one just for time's sake, but it's the same process. After you've drawn projected all your lines up, here's what you need to do. You're going to go to your little drop down arrow under your sketch tab, and you're going to find this trim. So once again, sketch, go to trim, it's just below half, and you're going to trim away these lines. You don't want these lines. You just want to keep the ones up in your top view. And I might have to zoom in to get these ones. Okay, then I'm going to hit escape to get out of the trim command. I'm going to hold in shift and select both of these lines. I'm going to right click and make them into construction lines. So that represents like hidden. We can't really see those axle holes when we're looking down at the top of our car, but we can see them from the side. So you should have an axle hole up here in the front and an axle hole in the back, and those are going to help you when you're designing your top view, which I will show you how to do in the next video.